You don't need to be famous. You just need to be trusted.
That's right. Authority isn't a blue check or a TEDx talk. It's how your audience perceives you and if they believe you can help them.
This is the part that most entrepreneurs skip, and it's costing them sales.
That's right. Today, we're showing you how to build rock solid authority and how to do it fast, even if your audience is basically just your mom and your dog right now.
Both of which I love very much.
I know.
I mean, I really do.
Let's go.
All right. So we're going to be talking about how authority equals expertise plus perception plus consistency, right? It's something that you can create that you're completely in control of. You could be the best kept secret in your niche, or you can show up and claim your space.
Oh, that's right. People don't buy from nice, they buy from known. And being known doesn't require fame. It helps. But it requires clarity and repetition.
I mean, that kids, but like Justin's been on TV in front of 30 million people, but I wasn't. And yet I grew a very successful multi-million-dollar business that I was able to scale and grow without ever being famous. So this can work for you if nobody knows you yet, just by following this exact formula.
Amen. Okay, so here's the ticket. This is the authority triangle. You see, it's got message clarity, platform presence, and proof. Let's dive into number one, message clarity. Can you clearly say who you help and how? And here's the ticket in one sentence.
Yeah. So if your Instagram bio is a riddle, no one's buying. Say what you do, say who it's for, and say why it matters.
Now, why does this matter? I mean, first impressions mean a lot. And in a world where we are bombarded left and right with all these messages and dings and blats and lights and all this other stuff, it means so much when someone can clearly come to your page and come to your page and clearly understand what it is you do within the first 3 seconds, right?
Yeah, because like, for example, you know that I'm not a super fan of fried foods. It's not like one of my favorite things to eat. I don't love them. If we're gonna go look at menus in a new town in a restaurant and I see a whole menu and it looks like all these fried foods, I'm just quickly gonna say, no. My brain's gonna like, that's not for me. Let's say that menu though has an entire side menu that's all healthy, grilled, beautiful dishes, but I never know about it because I don't even bother to go through it because up front it seems like this is just for people who like fried food.
Yeah.
If they had clearly identified that for me, I would have known.
Yeah.
Your audience is not going to search through your stuff to figure out if something is for them. Clearly identify who it is for and why they should care, or they're never going to figure it out themselves.
Yeah, or somebody else who does will take your business.
That's right.
All right, so let's move on to platform presence. Presence. The defining characteristic of
I'm still thinking back to the fried food thing when I said we like fried food. You didn't like.
Did you not like it?
Great.
I was
No, you were like, really?
I like fried foods. I like fried
Is
foods.
that what you were thinking? You weren't thinking, I think she does. I don't know.
I know you like fried foods. They don't always necessarily agree with you.
Correct. So I don't typically choose that.
Exactly. However, I love a good fried food. Fried, I'll probably eat it. Okay. That being said, platform presence, the defining characteristic of presence of me, it's like the emotional quality you bring to a room. That's when I think of stage presence, when I think of performing in front of 30 million live television viewers or on Broadway or wherever it might be. It's like that when people come to me and say, you have stage presence. It's like, oh, I hear that as you bring XYZ emotional quality to the room. Now, platform presence. It's not just showing up, right? Yeah, it's not just showing up. It's actually showing up in the right place, creating the right emotional story, value, whatever you want to call it, right? And you don't need to be everywhere, but wherever you decide to show up, whatever platform that is, you need to own where you are.
Yeah, so just pick a platform.
Yeah.
Post with purpose and don't ghost.
Yeah, that's right. This is I wish I had the stats here. I'll look them up at some point and have them.
Don't think of it.
I will not. I'll think of it at some later date.
Never
We
look
should
it
have done this. It's kind of like learning annex. You're like, I think I'll be nah. And so that being said, there are a billion people on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yet there are only X amount of maybe 100,000s that actually post.
Well, no, the stat that I always share with you is the one about LinkedIn. The 92% of LinkedIn users never post. 92% of daily LinkedIn users never post. So 8% of the people are providing all the content. So how quickly can you get in front of people?
Yeah.
Now, even more interesting, a little fun fact, Justin and I have discovered that when we post, if we right away go in and comment on each other's posts, share them, bookmark them, repost them, that actually instantly increases our overall reach. So just by engaging and working, there's social circles you could do it in. You could create a little cluster that you guys do it for each other. Have your team do it, your family. It does not matter. The social media algorithms love to see that it's getting engagement and they'll share it with more people.
That's it. Because again, going back to what I was saying before, it's not about followers.
Yeah.
Followers is a vanity metric. Go down to your local grocery store, get a whole bunch of things, put them on the belt, get them rung in, and then show the person, the cashier, how many followers you have.
Oh, yeah.
Try and pay with it.
Mm-mm.
They'll tell you to go.
Well, and you don't even follow herself reach, right? Because my daughter she got 4 million now views on one video, one post, and she only had 400 followers when that happened.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like reach doesn't even matter, and reach is so much more important than followers is.
Yeah, and so when you decide to show up, make sure that you show
Yeah.
up consistently, because the vast majority of people who are on social media,
Mhm.
A, are consumers. They don't create. So you're already ahead of the game there.
Yeah.
And then B, the people who actually do create of those people, do it every once in a while. Show up and they go away for 3 months. Consistent posters are a small portion. So when you put yourself in that elite class,
Yeah.
you're already ahead of the game. All right, so you were talking about reach. You were talking about a video that your daughter made, which was so simple, so in the moment, so authentic, only having 400 followers, and yet she's reached now 4 million with this
And now
one
has over
video.
11,000 followers. This happened within a week.
It's wild.
Crazy.
Like, when you can have that
Yeah.
asset, and it doesn't just need to be the video, but what happens if you have a business and you have done something for a client, gotten a result? What if you have a win inside your business, or you've gotten win for other people's? That's something called social proof.
Yeah.
And when you have social proof and you can show the results in your life, in your client's life, your client's wins, it it does so much to build authority and trust in the people who are watching. And yes, it doesn't have to be dramatic.
Okay, but I have a few thoughts on this, so no one's surprised.
Yeah.
The first one is if it's a celebrity or someone famous or well known in the industry, you can just post the social proof of working with the person because people will like it because they like that they're associated with you and you're associated with someone well known. So now their status increases because your status increased. So in that situation, you can just post. So I just posted one with Kevin O'Leary.
Right.
It went great just because. But if it's not with someone that's known in the industry, you have to add some value into the viewer or else it will not do well. So it has to be like, here's what you got out of it. Here's what they could get out of it. Here's what you discovered that they could get a benefit from. Here's what this means for the future, or something funny or engaging. It has to be entertaining, enlightening, or engaging to the audience, or sharing that social proof will just seem like an ad and it will not do well.
Right. And yeah, people want to see the wins. And what I hear underneath of what you're talking about is something that we always, always, always talk about, which is how do we borrow the celebrity
Mm-hmm.
of others or create our own celebrity?
Yeah.
We think like, oh, celebrities, you have to be on red carpets or you have to be. No. Celebrity is not fame. They're two
Yeah.
different things, right? Fame is the story that someone else puts on you, and when you don't fulfill that story anymore for them, they move on to somebody
I
else.
this all the time. I'm willing to experience this moment, but continue on with the story, sir.
Ask me how I know. It's fine. But that being said, celebrity
Yeah.
is the root word of that is to celebrate.
Yeah.
To be celebrated, to be a celebratory, if you're
Yeah.
And so when you can borrow the celebrity of others, and I'm not talking about
But-
bite off of them.
But I literally think that this is one of those things that you don't have it like most of us do. I like so and
We're just making a general thing.
when you can literally post like you're looking up at a tree and everyone's like, "Yay!" Heart, 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 heart." Normal
Yeah.
humans if we post that we're meeting with a client, people aren't like, yay, look at you, social proof. They have to get something out of it. If you just post you're meeting with a client, people are like, awesome, it's great, because you have that celebrity. So I think that there's just this little variation in the way that mere mortals need to
Yes, and
do
yes,
things.
I understand what you're saying, and what I was getting at is that
Uh-huh.
you can, like, for example, I'll just take me. Yes, I have celebrity, but why do I have celebrity? Because I borrowed the celebrity of American Idol. I would like to say that
In
I
some
was a
ways,
part
but you
of
were
the
also
brand. I
performing
was a brand, yeah.
on the front of 30
That's what
million
started.
people, and you made it to the end because you're so incredibly talented. So, like, that,
Yes, I'm not
you know what I
I'm
mean? You
take
have that.
compliment.
And I just think there are some rules when it comes to social that is
Yes.
different for you than the rest of us.
Right, and so where I was going was borrowing the celebrity, like, for example, if you have worked with an amazing client that people know,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
If you're a part of a
Even just know in your
brand.
industry, which is good.
Right, even your industry, right?
Mhm.
If you're a part of a brand that was a really big deal, like America, like,
Yeah.
talk about that because
Yeah.
you are associated with, in a positive way,
Yeah.
an amazing brand, an amazing person, an amazing business, whatever that is.
Mhm.
Now, if you can't borrow the celebrity, when you talk about the wins that you have with your clients, when you talk about the wins that you've had in your life, you're actually creating your own celebrity
Mhm.
in the sense of you're giving people something to celebrate you for.
Yeah, so it just comes to mind a post idea could be something like this. Let's say you have a client that you just worked with that you really want to work with, or you're excited to work with, but no one will know who that person is.
Yeah.
You could do something like Tom Smith. That name might not mean a lot to you,
Mm.
but it does to me. This has been a dream client I always wanted to work with. I put in the effort, I put in the time, and now my dream's coming true. What could you go after today to make your dream come true? Now I just made social proof into a story that's encouraging and engaging and will connect with our market.
Mhm.
But you might not have a client case study, right? You might need to borrow from your own life or borrow from pop culture. We do that when we tell the Matthew McConaughey story.
Yeah, I tell the Matthew McConaughey story all the time about how Lincoln was like, we need somebody to plop in one of our trucks, our biggest, most expensive thing. And so they called Matthew McConaughey. He's like, yeah. And so
No,
they,
do the
yeah,
impersonation.
I'm getting there, again, there. It's a setup. It's a setup. And so
That's why I put that in our notes for this episode because I've not been able to hear this accent in a while.
oh, they haven't done it in a while. I don't know. You might be setting me up for failure. So they took Matthew McConaughey and they
Mhm.
put him in one of their big flagship, car,
Yeah.
SUV thing. And, he's just doing his thing and just in there ruminating over nothing and just Matthew McConaugheying, right? I mean, not saying nothing,
He says
but
brilliant things all the time.
you know what I'm talking about. And
You know what I'm talking about.
what was the stat on their sales? Did
They
it
increased their Lincoln sales increased 25% in 30 days working with him.
25%. Now imagine if your business grew 25% in 30 days.
Now that's a very meta example because what we just did there, we used an example that's not our client, but a pop culture. So you could do the same thing in your talk while also telling you how a brand borrowed the celebrity. So it worked in both areas. So let's do a little authority audit and you can play along.
Yes. First, is your bio across not just one, but all the platforms you show up on? If it's one, great. Is your bio clear? Can we clearly understand what it is that you do?
Do your last 9 posts show what you do?
Have you shown your face this week?
Mm. Have you shared a win or a lesson recently? If the answer is to most of those, you've got some work to do. So here's a mini challenge.
Yeah. So we want you to go post a here's why I do what I do and how I got here post.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that it resonates with your target market.
Mhm.
And then you're going to DM 5 ideal clients and ask, can I send you something I think might be of interest to you?
Mhm.
And then send them a great free gift that would be a great value to build that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we've talked about authority and positioning, but here's the thing. If you want to shortcut the process of establishing your authority, fast tracking your authority, the shortcut is teaching. Yeah. Authority grows fastest when you give away what others charge for.
Yeah, people trust experts who aren't afraid to share the goods. So Drop that 3-step process with your community. Post that story, record that how-to.
Yeah, authority is not a vibe. It's actually a strategy.
And the good news, you can start building it right now before the spotlight ever hits.
Oh, that's right. Hey, next week we are diving into the juice, the sauce, the juiciest part.
Yeah, sales that don't feel gross or desperate. So subscribe, drop a comment, and let us know.
What part of the authority triangle are you working on right now?
You're not just building a brand, you're building a legacy.
Let's make it profitable.